Okay, so I'm completing my if statement for the females. I've noticed that there's some errors here. You can see from this green sort of mark at the top left hand side of the cells, there's a problem with the function of the formula. Okay, the reason for this is because of the type of cell referencing. Now, you have two different types of cell referencing. You have something called relative referencing and something called absolute referencing. Relative referencing is a type of cell reference that changes. So whenever I filter down, the cell reference changes. And you can see that from the formula bar here. It says K10 and D4. K10 and D4 change to K11 and D5, K12 and D6, K13 and D7, etc., etc. Now it may be that we want it to change, but it may be that in some instances we don't want it to change at all. Now in the case of that, in the case of this function here, we should have a combination of both. The K10 should change because we are referring to different athletes as we fill down. The D4 should remain static, so that should be an absolute cell reference because that should refer to this area here, that world record here, and it should stay the same. So what we can safely say is that K10 is correct and we can leave that as it is, and that's a relative reference. So you might want to explain something about that now in your skills log and show an example of what a relative reference is. This is not only important for your skills, but it's also important for exams because often questions come up about cell referencing. To make D4 an absolute reference, what we need to do is simply surround it with a dollar sign. So a dollar sign before the D and a dollar sign before the 4 will allow that to stay the same. Now if I fill that down to the bottom, we should see that that doesn't change. Now, there's some errors here that I'll need to check, but it may not specifically be related to this particular cell referencing I'm showing you. Okay, and obviously if I filter in the male contestants, I need to do the same thing for those also. So surround that by dollar sign, hit enter, and then filter down.